Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio. It's Dan Kokenauer, and he's the owner of Audio Video Specialists. And alongside him is Bill Germanetti, and he's a customer and now a referral source. So welcome. Dan, I always like when you stop by. So tell me a little bit about what you do and what we need to know.
So we're in the AV industry. We basically sell, design, and install systems for the home and office. And our approach is a consultative approach. We try to find the right products and services that will fit the client's needs as opposed to just offering cookie cutter solutions. And the results are we get a lot of referrals from our previous customers for new customers.
That's awesome. Now, we often think that we can do this ourselves, that we are going to go stop by, buy a new 8K television.
Yep.
And bring it in and then get some speakers in there. Why do we need someone like you? Why do we not think this through?
So there's a lot of things that people can do by themselves. But we're now in a very connected scenario these days. People want a connected home. They're doing smart capabilities, or they even are thinking to things that we do with automation. And when you're doing that, you need somebody who can help you design and plan the right products, because not everything works well together. In this nice electronic world that we live in. And so part of what we do is know what does work well so that the customer doesn't have problems on Saturday night when they have the big party.
And things don't work well together, and if you change one thing out, sometimes it can have a cascade effect on you.
Correct.
So I totally agree. Now, Bill, how did you find Dan an audio video specialist?
So I met Dan probably 4 or 5 years ago at a business owners group. Some people call them networking groups, but I like them because there's different business owners get together and they try to help each other. And then sometimes it's, what you're doing in that process, getting to know people and what their integrity is, what they do, and then hopefully how they can help others. So that's how I first met Dan.
And what did he? Then you hired Dan to help you out? Or
yes, Dan's worked with me, but probably more where he's helped me and the people around me is some of my clients. I've connected with some general contractors, and they love his quality and the way they take care of the client, and they help them with their understanding of how technology is used in the home today with homeowners. And an example I'm thinking of is somebody had an idea that they would need to do kind of a big project, and Dan's always known for listening and really understanding what you need to do, as well as helping you visualize what that might be. Ended up being a smaller project, which worked out just fine for their pocketbook. So, yeah.
And you mentioned new homes and construction, and one of the things, Dan, that you like to be involved with is when people are remodeling or maybe upgrading to a new home.
Correct.
Or even, is to be in there ahead of time, because one of the things that you really provide is some cool solutions to where all those cables go.
I think a lot of times people don't really know what they want, and they don't know what all the options and possibilities are. And so the thing that I try to impress most is get in early, talk to somebody like myself, where we can help them think about things and start formulating plans for what they want to use the space in. And then from there, they're not having to go back after the fact and run wires where we could have done that in advance, or planned the proper placement of a TV, that kind of thing. So it's always early is better, and it's always good to get some good advice.
Well, I agree, and we were talking, there's a lot we hear the term smart home. But you look at smart home a little bit different. You call it automation. Tell me a little bit about that, because I think that's fascinating.
Well, smart home is, the huge word that you hear out there, and there's a lot of devices that have an app that you can connect and utilize. Where automation comes into play is connecting different devices in your house and having them do a function with a single button press, or automatically doing it from a reaction of a trigger. Like disarming your alarm when you walk in the house. It could turn on the lights and create a pathway in the evening, but not do it during the day. That's automation. Automatically adjusting your shades based on the sun coming in. So there's a lot of different things that we can help create for a client, versus just having smart capabilities that they do by themselves manually.
Right. Well, and I think that's something as technology advances, all that's home opportunity, that smart home stuff is going to keep going. And as we've all found out one way or another, they don't all work together.
Correct.
And you change one thing and bam, suddenly your lights don't go on or whatever. Bill, tell me a little bit about some of the feedback that you have received from your customers when you've referred them to Dan.
Yeah, I think you got a little bit of a sense of it when he said earlier, which is the listening. That's probably the biggest piece, as well as helping people have an idea what they want to do, and then tying the things together is obviously a challenge. But another big piece is not just the stuff and whether it works well, that's great, but how does it look? It's part of your home, it's part of your environment, and it's comfort. And so the look and feel is really, really important in Dan's world, and his clients and the people that I've referred to him really appreciated that. And then I'd say the final piece is just, living with technology. So he just mentioned a few things which made my head spin a little bit, like how are you going to make all that work? But he makes it easy, training, before he leaves. But really, his clients, and I have as well, we give him a call, like, how does this work again? Or I need a little bit more training. So there's a lot of support, what I call after the sale. And the clients really become lifetime clients.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Dan, and I think you're in a great industry because our AV and that is so important to us now. Our video, our audio, our technology in the home is so important. And so complicated, more complicated than it's ever been. So to have somebody come into our home and make sure that works, and let's not even forget the security that needs to go with that.
Correct.
So you are in a great industry, my friend, and a great guy to be doing that. So thanks for stopping by, Bill. Thanks for telling us all about Dan, but Dan has been here before, and he is a pro, so we appreciate that. We appreciate all you do. It's important work. We're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.